What up? Dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moo, who shot himself. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, God bless each and every one of y'all. Hope you had a good Easter weekend. And y'all, it seems like we got a new boogeyman in the lightweight division. Oh yeah, it seems like we got a new boogeyman in the lightweight division. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, Brick City's own, Newark's favorite son. Shakur Stevenson, the 2-division world champion. Y'all already know, Silver Olympian. Man, he have unleashed his power. He have unleashed the boogeyman power, the type of power that's going to have people reluctant to fight him. Now, of course, you already know April 22nd, we got Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, the most lucrative fight in the sport of boxing. A fight that they might not be fighting for the belts, but let's be clear. We need that fight in the sport of boxing, and especially when people say that boxing is dying, boxing is a niche sport, boxing is not what it used to be and stuff like that. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia sustain the eyeballs in the sport of boxing, brings in the interest for the sport of boxing, and I think it's a great fight. And then the lightweight division, y'all. And following that, May 20th, we got the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko, who was 3-division world champion. Y'all already know he's an Olympian, probably the best amateur ever in the history of the sport of boxing. Vasily Lomachenko, Devin Haney, great matchup, good matchup, should be the primary fight in the lightweight division. But they just, let's say Devin Haney, who's the undisputed, doesn't attract the fans like a Gervonta Davis and a Ryan Garcia. And now we could say that the new attraction, I'm talking about that brings entertainment to the forefront of his skill set now. Shakur Stevenson. Now, in the past, especially before the Nakatilia fight, after the Nakatilia fight, Shakur Stevenson beat up Nakatilia for a whole 10 rounds, right? Every round, won every round. You know, looked it good. Just boxed him out. Outboxed him. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And we know that it wasn't enough because Shakur Stevenson, after the fight, felt the need to apologize. Took it to Twitter, took it to IG, took it to the social media platform. He felt the need to apologize to the fans. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I always say, of course, wins is important, right? It should be the primary thing, winning. But it's also in the sport of boxing, it's how you win and how you lose. It's also implementing the assessment and how we assess and how we could compare and how we, give credit and value fighters. Not only that you win, but it's how you win, especially now where Shakur Stevenson contemporaries that we have the attraction, like I said, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. You already know the team from Lopez, also an entertaining fighter, but he moved up to the 140. He got a good risky fight versus Josh Taylor. We're going to be talking about it in just a bit, but let's stay tuned to the lightweight division, right? Shakur Stevenson now is bringing to the table what Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia brings. And this is the reason why Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia is the biggest fight in the lightweight division, the most lucrative fight in the lightweight division. You know why? Because they sustain the eyeballs, like I said. They captivate the imagination and the emotions of the boxing fans. And what Shakur Stevenson did yesterday in Newark, New Jersey by beating Yoshino and how he beat Yoshino. Everybody know that he was going to win. But the question is, how is he going to win? Now that he's going to be debuting in the lightweight division, that was his first fight, debuting in the lightweight division. You already know Shakur Stevenson came from the featherweight, had a title in the featherweight division, moved up to the super featherweight division, unified the title, beating the likes of Jamel Herring, a respectable champion, and Oscar Valdez, a respectable champion, back-to-back. Beat Conceicao, the guy that a lot of people also felt that beat Oscar Valdez prior to Oscar Valdez fighting Shakur Stevenson. And he got to move up. He moved up. A lot of people have been questioning his power, not the skills. We all know that he got the skills to pay the bills. One of the best intellect, one of the best IQs in the sport of boxing is Shakur Stevenson. Not only in this young era, but one of the great minds in the sport of boxing. Does everything right. Sharp. Cat-like reflex. Punch selections. Great, how you say it? Tutor on his side like Andre Ward or Terrence Bud Crawford. Shakur Stevenson now brings to the table with Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Bam Rodriguez, the likes of these young fighters. I know Bam Rodriguez, he did his thing yesterday. He's not in the division, but I just want to give you the importance of entertaining. Shakur Stevenson, I had an interview with Shakur Stevenson. I was out there in the press conference, in the final press conference this past Thursday. And the first question I asked Shakur Stevenson, I said, knowing that you apologize after the Nakatilia fight because of the performance, not necessarily the win, but after the Nakatilia, you basically promised the fans that he would do better, that he would perform better. And to be all real, he don't need to apologize to the boxing fans, especially the way that he win. This already he already sacrifices his life, right? He don't need to apologize because he won. But of course, like I said, it's how you win and how you lose. And it seems like that fight, Shakur Stevenson, you already know, got one of the heaviest bag in the sport of boxing, got all the tools. Once you go several rounds and establish that you're at levels, I'm talking about levels with the SSS levels, then we want to see something, take him out of there. You don't want to see nobody that's not supposed to be in the ring with you and go a whole 12 round or 10 rounds and get a decision. He understood that. And he vowed to be better. And I'm going to say it like this, Shakur Stevenson, man, I'm proud of Shakur Stevenson as a fan because boxers can say anything to the fans. But Shakur Stevenson was serious about his apologies to the fans, even though he didn't need to. And he's been spectacular, sensational, and entertaining at the highest form in the sport of boxing. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been always telling the people, if you follow the channel, Punch Drunk Boxing, my YouTube channel, if you follow the channel, go at it, subscribe, and follow the content, the consistent daily content. I tell the people, the sweet science was meant to be exciting. The sweet science was meant to be exciting. From the days of the Willie Pep, from the days of the Floyd Patterson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Marciano, Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali Cassius Clay, Frazier, and the Haggers and the Hearns, and the Roberto Duran, and the Julio Cesar Chavez, the Oscar de la Hoya, and the Sweet Pea, and the Mike Tysons of the world. And the Roy Jones Jr. of the world, the Hamed of the world, the Berea, Morales, Manny Pacquiao. The sweet science was also meant to be exciting. This is the reason why the sweet science, boxing, pugilism, prize fighting, whatever you want to call it, was the number one sport in America. Ladies and gentlemen, the sweet science was always meant to be exciting. And I think because they get the habit, the people got the habit, it looks Pretty Boy Floyd was also entertaining. People think now, because I noticed they started like a trend of saying this. Like if there is a boring fighter and you stamp a fighter as being a boring fighter, there's these crop of people that will say, well, that's the sweet science, hit and not get hit. And I understand where it started at. It actually started when Floyd Mayweather, when he got up in age, brillo hands, started being more defensive, didn't take as much risk as he was when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. Floyd Mayweather started saying, it's hit and not get hit. Thinking about, I'm not trying to get brain damage, blah, 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 all that stuff. So then there is a community of people who were saying that if you call a boring fighter, no, that's just the sweet science. No. The sweet science was always meant to be exciting. If you wanna translate the sweet science into being boring, if you're that type of fan, then trust me, boxing would have never reached to the level of interest that it reached all over the world. Shakur Stevenson unleashed his power. Shakur Stevenson finally gave his body a chance to mature. Because he was cutting a lot of weight, in the super featherweight division, and let's not, we can't neglect the fact that he did lose his belt because he didn't came in weight. He missed weight, but of course we don't want, you got to be professional about it. But I think hardcore boxing fans also understand the danger. We don't want to see these fighters go out there and drain themselves, don't have no liquid in their brains and nothing like that. But at the end of the day, he's going to the lightweight division, and people was already projecting him going to the lightweight division. It was inevitable. But what we are seeing is his growth. We're seeing Shakur Stevenson's growth. He gave a chance for his body to mature. And with that, simultaneously, we seen his power mature. Shakur Stevenson now is given his body grow naturally. What we saw yesterday versus Yoshino was his natural power, because he gave his body a chance to grow naturally and mature naturally. Shakur Stevenson have checked a box, and probably the only box that he had. A lot of fighters have several boxes. Shakur Stevenson checked the only box that he had, and that was power. He knocked down Jamel after the Nakatilia fight. When he apologized, he stopped Jamel Hearing. He knocked down Oscar Valdez. He knocked down Consocial. He hurt Yoshino and stopped Yoshino. It's like he's getting better and better and more powerful. The type of power, ladies and gentlemen, that is like a gift and a curse. See, it's the gift for him to tell the people, hey, yo, I got more tools in the toolbox. I got power. I don't got no weakness. No weakness. He already checked the only probably, and it's not even a blemish because he kept on winning, but the power was the only thing that when we thinking about fighters moving up, we'd be like, does their power translate to the upper division? And it's doing it just that. It's doing just that. Yes, he beat a credible opponent. Yes, he beat a guy and fought a guy, and that was a credible opponent moving up and being his first opponent moving up. That was very, very smart by his matchmaker, and it was a good one. Yoshino did beat the crap out of Nakatani. So, man, folks, he is a problem. He is a he's a force to be reckoned with. That's the saying, right? I almost fumbled the words. He's a force to be reckoned with. And now, Shakur Stevenson, after the fight, called out Devin Haney, the undisputed. Now, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney had sparred with each other, worked with each other and stuff like that. They know each other very well. They're actually friends. But in all reality, as much as these fighters want to say that they're friends, it's kind of harder when you're friends in the same division. Because in the end of the day, you ain't started this road with, you did not start this journey. Look, Shakur Stevenson didn't start this journey with Devin Haney, and Devin Haney didn't start this journey with Shakur Stevenson. Just because you're my friend, you think I'm not going to fight you, so I can't. You're the only one with the belt. You're the only one with the belt. If I don't fight you, I don't accomplish my goals. If I don't fight you, I don't enhance my legacy. And what I'm supposed to do. This is life or death sport. At the end of the day, you could be cool with somebody, but when it comes to these in the square circle, you ain't my friend. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to take my life like I'm trying to take yours. There's no place to be friends in this business. You can be business partners because if you give somebody an opportunity, you make money together, you break bread together. Yeah, at the end of the day, this ain't a basketball. This ain't, let me get a pound after the fight or before the fight. We in the layup line. Yeah. No. You're here to strip the health. You're here to strip my health. You're here to impose a will, to impose punches into my head that I might go back to my family and I won't be the same man. I won't be the same father. How can you be my friend? F being your friend. And Shakur Stevenson is on that type of time. We ain't friends, man. You standing in my way. Oh, yeah, I want you to do your thing versus Lomachenko because in the end of the day, man, you standing in my way. I need a fight to enhance my legacy. Shakur Stevenson got it. He's matured. And especially when you a family, man. You remember when you was younger and your boys used to be your boys is your brothers, and still to this day, yeah, your boys could be still your brother. But when you establish a family, when you establish having a wife and then kids, that's when you know who's really there. Yeah, you got your boys, but at the end of the day, I'm living for them. Before, when you ain't have no kids, you don't have no significant other. You living with by your family, your cousins, your brothers, but then your friends that becomes your brother, becomes your cousin, becomes a part of your family. Some people have friends that they're closer to their friends than their own family. But when you establish your own, and right now Shakur Stevenson had to establish his own. He got a daughter to live by. He got a wife, he got a fiance to protect and provide for. You ain't his friend. You ain't gonna do nothing. Devin Haney, you ain't gonna do nothing for Shakur Stevenson right now. You can't. But that's the way it got to go. Vice versa. But now Shakur Stevenson has implemented that type of what I said in the beginning of the episode. I told y'all why Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is the biggest fight. It captivates the emotions of the fans. And Shakur Stevenson, after the Yoshino fight, if you look around with the pugilists of the game, independent media and stuff like that. Don't mind my kids in the back. I'm doing this at home. I'm just trying to move. Support the channel. You want to send donations? Cash app, $ punch drunk, PUNSHDRUNK, drunk. I don't got no studio. We're going to be moving on up like the Jeffersons. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is now Shakur Stevenson has ignited the emotions and the imaginations of the boxing fans. And that's why you see everywhere else, everybody is saying Shakur Stevenson can't be beat. Everybody's saying, not everybody, a lot of people saying that Shakur Stevenson is the boogeyman, that Shakur Stevenson is the hard one. It's everybody's hardest matchup. But because he has implemented, he has shown us that he has unleashed something that we haven't seen, that we wanted to see. Because we've seen the increase. We were seeing it. We were seeing the growth, fight by fight by fight. And finally, he's at 135 when he felt he's comfortable at. He didn't have to struggle making weight. There was no struggle in stopping Yoshino. Knocked him down in the second round. Knocked him down in the fourth round. Was beating him from pillar to mother effing post. I haven't seen that from Devin Haney. Not in this level now. Devin Haney got that check that he needs to. Got that box that he needs to check that Shakur Stevenson checked. Ain't nobody talking about Shakur Stevenson lack of power now. I have not heard nothing. I have not read or heard nobody critique Shakur Stevenson's skills, talent, power, speed, defense in every category of boxing. He has it down packed. Every single category. What we're witnessing right now is not a good fighter. We're witnessing something special. I cannot see nobody outboxing Shakur Stevenson. Not in the lightweight division. I don't see nobody smarter than Shakur Stevenson in that ring. In the lightweight division. If you're going to beat Shakur Stevenson, it's either you knock him out, either TKO, or either corruption. That's the only way I see it. We're witnessing a perfect fighter right now. We're witnessing a perfect fighter. Not only that, he's become an attraction. Newark, New Jersey had 10,000 people, 408 people, the most in that arena in Newark, New Jersey. And I'm happy as a boxing fan, and you should be happy as a boxing fan. Because when they were saying, oh, this gets boring, no, that's the sweet science. Now people understand what really the sweet science is. If you thought that Shakur Stevenson was boring, and the other people was telling the people that used to criticize him, oh, but that's the sweet science, he'll not get hit. What we saw yesterday is the sweet science. Bam Rodriguez is showing the sweet signs. Shakur Stevenson is showing the sweet signs versus all these guys that I just mentioned. Ryan Garcia is showing the sweet signs and Gervonta Tank Davis. Devin Haney is showing a sweet signs, but that's not the sweet signs that people fell in love with. You got to add some excitement. You got to bring people. How can we value a particular quote unquote sweet signs if we're always saying that it's putting people to sleep? That's not the sweet signs, folks. Because the sweet signs never put people to sleep. Because it's never meant to put people to sleep. You understand what I'm trying to say, folks? This ain't a cast on Devin Haney. Devin Haney has a winning style. He does everything he needs to do to win. He does everything that he needs to do for him to win. But when you have fighters like Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, and looking at the welterweight division, I just want to talk about the young guys like Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Hopefully he gets better and get back in the ring. They just don't do good for them. They do good for the sport of boxing. And ladies and gentlemen, I always say, I break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. I'm here to preserve the sport of boxing. I love boxing. I hate when people say that boxing is dying. I'm here to preserve the sport of boxing. I created the podcast, the YouTube channel, the website. I created this because I want to preserve the sport of boxing. And this has been the catchphrase. I'm here to preserve the sport of boxing. I'm here to preserve, listen to me, preserve the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators. They put their life on the line for our pure entertainment. Think what I just said. Because there's people that be like, hey, yo, Punch, you contradicted yourself and stuff like that. How you going to say that you trying to preserve the fighters if you're going to talk down? I don't talk down about the fighters. I'm just letting you know the truth. I'm letting you know there's certain fighters that do good for them and the sport of boxing, and there's other fighters that just do good for them. Right? Devin Haney wins, but he's winning. But if you guys people saying after the George Cambosa #1, they put everybody to sleep and nobody will never want to watch that stuff again, that means it doesn't do great for the sport of boxing. This is why Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia is the biggest fight. This is the reason why Shakur Stevenson had 10,000 people, because the progression of his fights, the way that he's getting better and better and better, more entertaining, more power, included with the extraordinary talent and tools that he got. So I'm proud of Shakur Stevenson and the way that he performed. And when I asked him, a follow-up question and paraphrasing, that do you think that you're going to be that you need to perform because you're going to be compared to your contemporaries? He's like, not necessarily and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? He really didn't agree, but I think I have a feeling that he agrees now with this performance, because everybody massively is talking about his performance, his growth, his power, and now many are saying, I mean, he don't got a belt in the lightweight division. It's easy to avoid him. You telling me that you want somebody with that skill set and with some power at that? A guy that makes barely no mistakes, that can't get touched, don't get touched. Now his power, now he could switch too. He pivots real good. His timing is awesome. His defensive is impregnable. How Mike Tyson said, my defense is impregnable. I forgot how he used it. My right hand is ludicrous. Man, he's just doing a hell of a job. Now let's talk about a little bit of the other fighters. My daughter just screaming and stuff like that. Don't mind her. Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson boy, knocked out his opponent, Anthony Yigi, something like that. Yigi from Sweden. Did a hell of a job. And in the beginning, most of the fight, I was like, come on, man. Put them punches together, man. I wanted Shakur Stevenson. I wanted Keyshawn Davis. I'm sorry. I wanted Keyshawn Davis to throw more punches and stuff like that. Yigi. That's his last name. Anthony Yigi. I wanted him to throw more punches. Yet, in the end of the day, man, in the later rounds, I think it was the 10th round bout. In the 9th round, he did his thing, knocked him out, and looked impressive. He made a statement. And, of course, he called out Frank Martin, who is Earl the True Spence fighter, who beat Michel Rivera. Michel Rivera was popped dirty and suspended for, I believe, 9 months. But that was supposed to be a good matchup. People thought that Michel Rivera was going to beat Frank Martin. So he looked impressive. I'm telling everybody looking impressive out here. Pitbull Cruz is looking impressive as well. But let's not forget the Pitbull Cruz, Cepeda. Who else ducked Shakur Stevenson? They ordered the Pitbull Cruz fight. Pitbull Cruz, who made a good count of himself versus Gervonta Davis, but they didn't want that work. Cepeda didn't want that work. And then George Cambosa tweeted at Shakur Stevenson and said that he's not even ready for that fight. He's not ready for that fight. And this was before Shakur Stevenson showcased his power versus Yoshino. Now, you know for sure these guys ain't going to want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Hell no. And if Devin Haney said, they said during the post-fight interview that he texted Mark Kriegel and said that if he beats Lomachenko, he's going to stay in 135 to fight Shakur Stevenson. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. But Keyshawn Davis is going to be moving up quick. I think he's going to be in contentions real quick. I think he's going to be moving quick like they did with Shakur Stevenson, like Top Rank did with Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. They just got the skills and talent to take the type of risk that they have taken already in their career. Shakur Stevenson looking levels above. I have not seen a fight that is like not even in the same. Like all these guys, even the champions, it feels like they're not even supposed to be in the ring with him. Like the only people he got to fight is Tank. Ryan got to prove himself with Gervonta Davis. He proved himself really with Luke Campbell, in which there was a lot of people that felt like it was a 50-50 fight. Got dropped, got back up, control the pace, show the people character, show the people grit, and then knocked them out with a body shot. And that's what I mean about spectacular, looking impressive. Shakur Stevenson now, after this, his stock has gone higher than it's ever been. Even when he beat the champions, it's going higher than it's ever been. Especially now that he's in a lightweight division, a lucrative division, and a lot of names in the division, in which it's going to be easy if you put him up against these other names. It's going to be a star. A star. It's inevitable. Whether Devin Haney, if he beats, look, I'm going to tell you like this. I think this was going to happen. If Lomachenko beats Devin Haney, Lomachenko's going to retire. If Devin Haney beats Lomachenko, he's going to go to 140. Drop the belts. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Shakur Stevenson is going to be a 3-division world champion. It's inevitable. Well, I'm not going to say inevitable because also, as much as we giving credit of the growth of Shakur Stevenson, when we talking about his contemporaries, they're also the same age, and we want to see if they're going to grow as well. And the good thing about it in this 3-month span is that they all going to be fighting somebody that if they're going to win, their stock is going to go way up high. If Ryan Garcia beats Gervonta Davis, oh my Lord, it's going to go. His stock is going to shoot up to the roof. Gervonta Davis beat Ryan Garcia, I believe it's going to make him a bigger star. It's going to be one of the biggest stars. He's going to go probably head to head with Canelo Alvarez in terms of stardom. And if it's how he wins, but I know the underdog is Ryan Garcia. But Ryan Garcia stops Gervonta Davis. Oh my Lord! How about if Devin Haney checks the box like Shakur Stevenson, check that power box, and stops Lomachenko? Now, whether people feel like Lomachenko is coming into this fight with not the great momentum, not the type of momentum that he came into the T.O. fight when they fought 3 years ago. Lomachenko was pound for pound at that time. Lomachenko was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3. You could flip it around. But this Lomachenko, people still feel like it's good enough, skillful enough to beat a Devin Haney. And people, because of Lomachenko's performance in the past, is giving a lot of confidence for Haney. A lot of people have a confidence that Haney is going to beat Lomachenko. Now, when we're talking about bags, like toolbox, I don't think that Devin Haney got the toolbox like Lomachenko. But because you got more skills and you got more skill set, that doesn't mean that you beat the other guy. Let's not forget Ricardo Mayorga versus Forrester. But it's going to be a good fight May 20th. A lot of things to prove right there. Jared Anderson also performed, also knocked down the Dominican fighter Arias. And I already know he was going to knock him down. I already know look, I predicted that Jared Anderson was going to end this guy in three rounds. I'm going to tell you about Dominican fighters. They don't mean. I don't really like the culture of Dominican fighters. I don't. Not the culture in how to say. Let me rephrase that. I don't. Their personality and character does not relate to the coach. The Dominican fighters do not relate to the coach of Dominicans. Put it that way. They too reserved. They too nice. And I'm not saying that we're not nice, and I'm not saying that we got to be ratchet, but you got to identify what the people from the Dominican Republic likes. It's like I already knew looking at Arias that he was going to be knocked down in the third round during the press conference. He had no confidence at all. Nothing. I'm not going to exchange. I'm not going to stand there with a knockout artist. So what you trying to do? He basically was trying to say, I'm not going to go next to Jared Anderson. Basically, he was trying to say, No tenía ese ánimo, mi hermano. I just didn't like the feel. I didn't want Michelle Rivera to be looking like Muhammad Ali. We already got his grandson. Everybody looked at that like it was fake. He looked more like Tito Trinidad. And you notice when they was trying to make him somebody that he was not, he didn't knock out anybody. Well, he knocked that dude out one, but he wasn't looking wild because he was trying to be somebody he not. He was trying to emulate somebody that he not. I think that was a mistake. Because if he would have succeeded more, he was gonna be an identity crisis. He's gonna be having an identity crisis. You already know in boxing, you already got to mind F yourself and thinking that you could beat everybody in the world. That's the way that you train. You got to have that confidence. But now he's gonna believe that he is Muhammad Ali. He'll have an identity crisis after this career. He'll probably be mentally ill. Hector Luis Garcia got hit with Keyshawn Davis, told the whole world he can't see. No puedo ver. And he actually was doing good. We need that machismo. And if we don't bring that type of machismo, it doesn't relate to, you know what I'm saying? As Dominican, nosotros siempre estamos en alegría. These guys are like robots. But hopefully my Dominican people get it together. We do have some Dominican fighters. We got Boyer. They're going to be fighting Rolly in 140. I can't believe that he got a title shot. How the hell does Rolly get a title shot in 140 by losing to Gervonta Davis in 135? I'm telling you, the business of boxing, the politics, that's what I tell you. The only way that I see Shakur Stevenson losing if he gets knocked out, TKO, or corruption, because there ain't nobody going to outbox him. Lucky punch maybe, but ain't nobody going to outbox him. But in the same event, the last night event, also Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez was announced. And like I've been saying throughout this episode, these guys are risking it. Like Teofimo Lopez, he's crazy. Put it that way. Teofimo Lopez is crazy. Crazy. You need to be crazy in the sport of boxing. Because Teofimo Lopez could have picked Barbosa. And you remember when people were saying that, Teofimo Lopez is ducking Arnold Barbosa. And then it switched up. No, Teofimo Lopez is ducking Regis Prograis. And then as soon as they didn't mention that Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting Josh Taylor, ain't nobody was trying to say nothing. All the haters went to, I don't even know where the haters at. I don't even know what Teofimo Lopez hated. They all got humble. They don't say nothing. They don't drop video. They don't say nothing on Twitter. What happened to all the Teofimo Lopez haters? Because they understand. See, you could fake or you could enable narratives and stuff like that, but you see Teofimo Lopez risking it and fighting the guy that was undisputed, that's still undisputing a lot of people's minds, in Josh Taylor, because he never lost the belt. You got to give credit to Teofimo Lopez. That's a risk right there. But a lot of these young guys are taking a risk. I believe that Devin Haney is taking a risk as well, fighting Lomachenko. Both of these guys, Lomachenko as well. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, I believe, is taking risk. Not to the level of Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor, though. Because I'm going to tell you like this. Teofimo Lopez is going to be a major underdog. But I even predicting that Teofimo Lopez is going to stop Josh Taylor. I'm predicting it, folks. Teofimo Lopez is going to stop Josh Taylor in the later rounds. I'm predicting it right now. Ain't going to be no outbox. He's going to stop him. Brandon Lee performed. Oh, let me say this about Fundora. The 6'4" Enigma in 154 got knocked out. And a lot of people felt like it was an upset. Even though that Fundora did go to war with Erickson Lubin. He went to war with Erickson Lubin. Mendoza beat the crap out of and knocked down Jason Rosario. Just in an impressive fashion, like what's his name? Like Jamel Charlo, the Undisputed. He beat him in an impressive fashion. Mendoza beat him in an impressive fashion. Mendoza knocked out Fundora. But I didn't praise too much Fundora. I never did really content about Fundora and stuff like that. I just feel like he was an enigma. I didn't praise him. I held my praise because even with all that height, he never really established his height. That's why I never really, I saw this coming. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I saw this coming. I don't think that he was going to be Jermell Charlo either. So I never thought that he was going to be a champion in the 154 while Jermell Charlo was there. This was inevitable in my opinion, because as much as he's an enigma and his height and his reach and it look incredible, like, oh my God, who's going to beat him? He never fought his size. He never implemented, he never took advantage of his natural assets. He fought small. So he gave a chance to his opponent. He wanted to bang. And look, we like fighters that like to throw down, like to risk it and throw and have a fight. It's exciting for us. But for him, yeah, he could throw down. But also you got to establish, for the most part, your range. He didn't fight. He looked like he's a smart guy, educated guy, but it seems like he didn't, give me 1 second.